Welcome in. Happy Thursday, Sean. How are you today? All right, I'll be getting started in a minute. Wait, you still at work? Oh, wait. I'm good. Oh, it's 4, so it's 2. What is it, 2 o'clock for you? It's 2 o'clock your time, right? Ooh, that's not cool. I just broke one of my jars. Oh, it's 1. Oh, that's right, you 3 hours behind. I just broke one of my jars. Think that's something. That's the only thing about when you have stone countertops. I'm gonna get started in a little bit in a minute. I washed my hair today and I was so irritated because I sell hair growth oils and hair growth butters, and I've truly been neglecting my various. So Rainy, how you doing? How are you? Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. I know I'm gonna forget something on my scale. I been neglecting myself, not really taking care of my hair like I should. And the interesting thing is it didn't really dawn on me until day before yesterday. My oldest put a video up and said, check out my mother. And she showed a picture of me when I was young, when my hair was down to my butt. And she was like, and this is my mother now. She finally, after 30 years, decided to grow her hair back. And it dawned on me, I haven't been doing my hair. I've just been getting up in the mornings, wetting it in the shower, because it's naturally curly, and then throwing it in a ponytail and keeping it moving. But I haven't been doing any treatments to it. I haven't been doing anything to it. And I was, darn near in tears just a moment ago, because as I was combing it, hair was just falling out and falling out and falling out and falling out. And I was like, man, I did all that work for 6 months using my very own hair growth oil to grow my hair, to turn around and neglect my very own hair and just watch my hair fall out in chunks. And I'm like, this is crazy. It's simply because I just haven't been taking care of it, because too much water also is not a good thing. You can cause your hair to be more dry, because your hair will get used to that water and need more and more water, whether you're using aloe vera juice or anything else. So unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't really doing a good thing. All right. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So hopefully I'll only be less than an hour. So right now, interesting, and so I wanted to do these candles last month, but I had placed an order for some crystals, because I need to have, my crystals have to be real. And so one of the ways that you can determine whether your crystals are real or not is if you take a match or flame, any type of flame, if you take that flame and apply it to the crystal should remain cold, like literally under the fire. It should still be cold to touch. If that crystal heats up or burn, then it's not real. Real crystals will not burn. So I was telling Sean about this the other day, and I'm going to show you. Now, I will say this. You can get some black mark But if you get some black mark, you better take your finger, wipe it off. If it doesn't wipe off, it's not real. It's cold. The black that was on there, wipe off. That's how you know your crystals are real. That's how you make a determination if your crystals are real crystals. See, it's dark. Wipe it right off. It's cold to touch. Your crystals should always remain cold to touch after lighting it to the flame. You can see the dark mark came off. So I brought a few crystals that were supposed to be from some reputable shops that were online. And even those crystals weren't real crystals. So therefore, I kept not finding the real, some authentic gemstones, garnet gemstones. Give me 1 second, I need to grab something. And so therefore, it was late for me being able to buy any gemstones. Okay. So what I just did is, I had some oil left in there from the last project, which is okay. Whenever you have oil left in, or wax, left in your project, left in your can from another project, you just simply heat it up, take some 90+% alcohol, wipe it out, it comes right out, and so does the scent. It does not stay in your candle tin. You will never have cross-contamination of scents if you do this properly. So I'm good today. Like I said, I was a little upset because I couldn't believe my hair was falling out the way it was. So, so yeah, I wrote down some nice little fun facts. Interesting enough, my daughter's birthday is today. So my daughter turned 35 today. And so, of course, she's a Capricorn. And so I, was telling her how my daughter and I, we don't get along as Capricorns and Aquarius. She is the only Capricorn that we don't get along. Well, I shouldn't say don't get along, but we bump heads. Every other Capricorn, I am cool with. Any other Aquarius, she's cool with. Like, her and I just bump heads. I just think it's a mommy-daughter thing. So I was telling her about Sean. I was saying, Miss Sean's birthday is 10 days after yours. And she was like, oh yeah, she's a Capricorn. That's my girl, and all that good stuff. So I decided to look up some fun facts as we're going to talk about the herbs we're going to use in a candle, how to make a candle. I am going to teach you how to make a candle. That's not hard. It's on online, so I don't have a problem sharing that, how to make that. That recipe is not proprietary. It's all over the internet. Every candle or wax company actually shares a recipe as well. But I'm gonna have to run back over to my garage because I did the one thing. Thank you. Oh, really? Oh, okay. My mom's a Capricorn also. My mom's birthday is the 15th. So yeah, her birthday's coming up too. But I actually left my wicks over there. I went early over there this morning to make sure I grabbed everything and still forgot the wicks. Like, how I did that and the tin, I brought the wax and everything else over here, and I left the tin and the wicks over there. So it just took me a second to run to the garage. And I do apologize for that because I just could have sworn I grabbed everything. I think I got distracted when I got on T's Live. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about a Capricorn. And so I thought that would be, my youngest daughter just texted me, said, I got jury duty on, she got jury duty on my birthday. Interesting thing is she has to serve it because my father's deceased. So she no longer is excused from jury duty, neither am I. Because my father, being the high-ranking police officer he was when he was alive, in all the years that he served, we weren't allowed to serve jury duty because they called it a conflict of interest. So I never had to worry about serving jury duty, but now I gotta serve jury duty if they call. But yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, like that. Can y'all still see me? Well, you're able to still see me? Can you? Okay, great. Perfect. Because that's what my notes are. I was like, oh, I didn't print it off, so I hadn't print it off. But, So yeah, so now she has to serve jury duty and she hates it. All right, so let's get started. So I wrote down some fun facts. I just wanted to print it out so I won't have to keep doing this. But Capricorn. So most of y'all know Capricorns is an earth sign. And it rules the 10th house of the zodiac sign. And I kept asking myself, how does that rule the 10th house if it's the first sign and the last sign? But you have to understand that astrology still goes by the 13 signs. Originally there were 13 months with 28 days in each month. And there was 13 months. And the month that is missing, I believe it's between May and June. If it's not between May and June, it's June and July. But I think it's between May and June. That month used to be called Soul. That month was just removed from the calendar in 1920. So anybody that was alive by up until 1920 knew that there was 13 months and 28 days. And so, therefore, that's what makes them rule the actual 10th month, because the first of the year is April 1st, not January. And you have to also understand, nothing can be alive or new when something is in a season of hibernation. We all know that January is a season of hibernation, so that's a season of rest and renewal and rejuvenation. Which is why you see all of the animals, what do? The bears and different animals, they go underground and they hibernate. And so therefore nothing can be new. Everything comes alive and becomes new again in the spring, after the spring equinox, which is April the 1st. So, and that's why, like, my family even got mad because when they was all wishing happy New Year, I was like, happy Gregorian calendar year. And they was like, here she go being deep again. But you rule the 10th house. So Capricorns actually represent discipline. They are very disciplined people. One of the things I noticed that they always talk about, because I'm always so deep put to them. But one thing about Capricorns that I love when I was looking up the fun facts is Capricorns, and my daughter's like this as well. And I now know Sean is like this after, being friends with her now. I now know she's like this. Y'all need to know what's going to happen before it's going to happen. And you got to have your hands in it and making sure that it's going to happen. Y'all are so disciplined when it comes to laying out what y'all want and executing what you want. So that is a strength of a Capricorn. They need to know everything that's going to be laid out. They need to know what their next move is going to be and how that next move is going to play out. But if that next move don't play out, they are so critical of themselves. Even if they're not the ones at fault for that next move not playing out, they're still so critical of themselves. Because they are so ambitious. They think so highly of themselves, not in a negative way, but knowing that they can create and do whatever they want to do, and they can. So if they fail at it, or not fail, but stumble at it, they become very critical of themselves. And it'll cause them to fall into that introvert side of them, because Capricorns are introverts and extroverts at the same time. They're just not extrovert with all people. But if they allow you into their space, and they're very guarded people, if they allow you into their space, then you'll see the extrovert side of them. But if not, you're going to see the introvert side, and you're going to see the shy side, which will you'll think they're calm, cool, and collected. But I'll tell you one thing about a Capricorn. Don't pee a Capricorn off, because that calm, cool, collected side of them goes out the window. So, but I do have some more fun facts, but we're going to go get started. We're going to talk and work at the same time. So right now, I'm going to I have a notebook. And so is my daughter, and so is my mother. And it's interesting because actually I have a nephew, and my nephew's birthday is tomorrow. This is a blood nephew. It's my younger brother's son on my mom's side. And he's actually the same way. And I had to tell my brother that one time, because they kept wondering why he always wanted to sit up in his room, because Aquariuses are the same way. And it's interesting because my brother he has 10 children, but 3 signs. All 10 children are 3 signs: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libras. That's it. all 10 children. So I noticed that pattern of the Capricorns and Aquariuses, we're all introverts and extroverts at the same time. But they always used to get on him for not wanting to participate and be around everybody else. And I'm the same way. I basically stay up in my room. So when y'all don't see me live, I'm actually in my bedroom. My husband's out here in the living room, but I'm a bedroom person. Even in my marriage, I'm introvert as well. But that's just how, we are as people. The reason why, like I said, I'll share the recipe. Recipes are all over. I got my recipe from Candle Science. I did a lot of testing. And so I know that this one works. One of the things about testing candles, let me grab a napkin again, is that in order to make candles, you have to do what is called a lot of testing. Meaning you have to buy vessels, you have to buy wicks, and then you have to take that fragrance that you're going to use. And you got to test that out over and over again, which means that you got to make the candle. You then have to let the candle cure, and then you have to burn the candle. But you have to do that with multiple wicks, multiple size vessels, and just with one fragrance. And it can take literally about a good 3 months just to test one fragrance alone. You know what? My nephew is really, he's really like that too. My nephew is really extremely funny as well. It's a lot of testing. I see people now, they're coming on social media. Let me turn you off because you're hot. They're coming on social media and they're buying kits from Amazon and they're pouring it and then throwing a whole bunch of fragrance oils and herbs and things in there, and they think that's making candles. And unfortunately, it's not. We are regulated by the INFR. The INFR, and I can't tell you, remember how it goes, but they control candles, cosmetics, anything of the sort. Anything that releases any type of fragrance into the air, basically. Whether it's on the air, whether it's on the skin, whether it's in the tub, they control all of that. There are regulations that we have to follow. And they state that there are certain things you can and cannot do when it comes to candles. And because when you're burning a candle with a flame, or even if you're doing a flameless candles, which I do those as well, which you just put on top of a warmer, you have to realize that there are some chemicals that are in our fragrances, whether they're natural or synthetic, or even down to essential oils or essential oil blends. They release a certain toxin up in the air. So therefore, which is why you have to be careful when it comes to, choosing your wicks and your vessels, because that wick, though, you can't really see it and I can't move it, but I got a prosperity candle burning right now, and it's releasing a lot of soot. One of the reasons why it's releasing a lot of soot is because of the wick that I chose to use for that particular candle. Now, I wouldn't sell that candle, that wick with that candle. I did that because I needed to manifest some things quickly. So I needed it to burn quickly. So that's just simply personal. But you have to know how to match your wicks with your vessels, and not just with your vessels, but with your wax. Your wax makes a difference. So you have different waxes out here, and I'm not even gonna go over all of them, but 3 of the most popular ones right now is soy, paraffin, and coconut wax. And then you have your blends. There are certain blends. You can get the coconut and soy, which is what I use. I use the blends because soy just does not give you a good throw, meaning when you burn it, that scent doesn't throw out into the atmosphere well at all. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, it's the most natural, but you're not gonna get a good hot throw, as they call it. You'll get a good cold throw. A good cold throw is when you pick the candle up when you're in the store and you're smelling the candle. That scent is not the same scent that you're going to get when you go home and burn it. You can have an amazing cold throw, but get home and burn your candle and be like, I don't smell this candle. I'm taking it back. And if you turn around and look on the back, more than likely 9 out of 10 it was made with soy. However, when you go into Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candles and some of these other places, if you turn that around on the back, it's going to say paraffin. And the reason why it's going to say paraffin because they want that cold throw and that hot throw to match. And that's the only way it's going to match is by using paraffin. So, you know, a lot of people like to say, oh, paraffin is dangerous, all this stuff like that. Paraffins that they're selling now are not dangerous. That is a marketing ploy to get you to buy soy. These paraffins now that are being sold in these candle stores and these shops and things of that nature have been cleaned. They're clean paraffin now. But then you also have beeswax candles. People like to burn beeswax. Beeswax don't give off a scent throw at all. I'm still trying to understand how it has become such a popular candle because it doesn't give off any scent. I don't care how much fragrance you put in there, it's not going to give off any scent. And based off of the wick and the wax that you use, depends on how much fragrance you can use in your candle, because each candle gives you a different type of percentage you can use. A lot of these fragrances you can use them for lotions, you can use them for soaps, you can use them for body washes, and you can use them for candles. You literally can use all of those fragrances for all of those, one fragrance for all of those things. But then you have some that will say it's not safe for maybe the body, but it's safe for a shampoo or a candle. You'll have some instances where that says that. So that's why, that's why it's important to read your labels. Because your labels will tell you, and if your labels, like I said, don't tell you, as I always say, your website will. So if you go to Craft Your Choices website, you'll see on there, it'll tell you how much you can use in a baby product, how much you can use in the regular products, if you're doing a cold process, a hot press soap, if you're doing a candle, it'll tell you if it can be on there, if you can. And if you can't find it on there, you can always go to the INFR website because they're going to break it down as well. They're just not going to break down the scents, each particular scent that's on the market, but they're going to give you an idea whether it's a synthetic scent or if it's a natural scent. But it's absolutely going to tell you to stay away from essential oils. And I see a lot of people using essential oils and using food coloring for coloring their candles. And it makes no sense because for one, food coloring is flammable, and for two, it doesn't cost you that much to buy a pack. This pack, I want to say, was 60 cents. And I've had this pack now for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So it doesn't cost a lot, you know, for your products, especially if you're getting them from a reputable place. If you're getting them from Amazon, yes, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but if you're getting them from a reputable place, it does not. Hi, from Jamaica. I've never heard of Mandeville. My best friend is from Jamaica. I'm great. How are you doing? He is from Kingston. He's a chef for the Ryu properties, and I've been all over, but I've been there like 9 times, and I've never heard of that. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here today. Wow. Okay. Welcome in. All right. So, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab my wicks really quick in my jar that I left sitting right there at the door. I'll put it down. Hold on 1 second. All right. So I decided to grab several so you can see what I was talking about. All right. Thank you for your patience. I do apologize again. And same as when I'm making cosmetics, everything has to be clean and sterilized. I already wiped down everything. I already cleaned out everything. And I also sanitized with the bleaching water as well. So here are some vessels. So these are called vessels in the candle world. So this is a concrete vessel I made myself. So I have used this vessel for personal use. I have not sold any of them yet because I have not been satisfied with the burn from none of my wicks yet. So I have a bunch of these in a bunch of colors. And eventually, and I've made these 2 years ago, and I still have not been satisfied with any of them. But I made this concrete. This is a concrete vessel. I was going to do the concrete vessels when everybody was into it. But like I said, I, as a professional candle maker, was like, I don't know how people are selling these. I was not getting a good burn. So I said no. So that's one. And then you have your standard tins. Now, I personally don't use jars in selling them. The reason being is because I have noticed that the mail carriers, no matter which branch of mail carriers there are, they have not been taking good care of people's packages. And I've seen too many horror stories of people saying that their candles came broken, and as a business owner, you have to replace that. You know, I mean, yes, you do get your money back from the mail carrier, whoever delivered it, but it's a hassle. And you want to go ahead and just replace that for that customer, you know, for good customer service experience, and just the right thing to do, because it's not the customer's fault, but you can also take a loss because sometimes these mail carriers don't want to give them back. So I'd rather do tins. Tins can go on warmers just like jars can. And so I just stick with tins. So this here is an 8-ounce tin, and this is a 4-ounce tin. Now, when it comes to candle making, just because it says 8 ounces and 4 ounces actually means nothing. You literally can get more or less in this candle depending on your formulation that you're using. But there's a way to calculate this to make it exactly the 4 and the 8 so that you don't have any over it in wax. So we're gonna go with the 8-ounce candle today, because these candles are gonna go on my shop in 5 days. Now, here's another thing. There are different types of wicks. I love all of them based off of what you're using. So here are the wooden wicks. So these are the wooden wicks. And I do have way more than this, y'all. I just was not bringing them all over here. It costs a lot of money to start up a candle business. So these are the wooden wicks. They're actually wood pieces. I don't even know what type of wood there are, but these go inside of the little hooks right here. And you just use the glue stick, the glue dots or a glue gun or whatever to attach it to the bottom. One thing I don't like about these is because they don't always give up a good scent throw. But these are the crackling ones also, so that's for aesthetic purposes only. Whenever you see the crackling wicks, it's not going to catch on fire. It's just for aesthetics only. And when you label your candle jars, you have to label them as wooden wicks because there is a patent on that wick. No matter what company is selling it, there's one company, Wooden Wicks, who have an actual patent on it. So you have to have them on your label or they will shut your shop down if you're not giving them the credit that they deserve. And one thing I like I said, if you buy your candles from most places, they will tell you what size wick is suggested. It's only suggestion to what type of jars. Because they can say, oh, this wick is for an 8-ounce tin. However, if you're not buying that tin for them, you may not get the same results. Because they're only going to tell you what wick works best for their jars that they sell. So that's another reason why you have to test your candles before you begin. And so we have different sizes here. So this is what is called a Eco 8 size 8, which means the size 8 simply just means the width, how thick the cotton is. And the length is 8 inches. So that's what that means. And then I also have, which is one of my favorite, and this is my other one. This is a this is a CD12, 612. So meaning this right here, this wick portion is a little bit thinner than the other one because this is a size 6. And so I typically use these if I'm wicking these candles. But I'm doubling them up. If I'm doubling them up, or if I'm doing a 12-ounce candle and I'm doubling up the wicks. Because some candles, you have to put 2 wicks in them. All right? So before we go any further, let's talk about some more fun facts, or fun facts about Capricorns. And again, welcome in, everyone. If I missed you, please forgive me. Hold on, let me unlock my phone. All right, so as I stated, Capricorns, like to know what they're, be in the know. Capricorns have high standards when it comes to their love life. And they also have very sharp intuition. So when you think you're getting over on a Capricorn, think again. Just because a Capricorn may not say anything to you does not mean you're getting over on them. Trust and believe. They are so stubborn at times. They are so quiet. They will sit on that piece of information until they need to release it. So just know that if you're going to be friends with a Capricorn, you better come correct and come right, because they actually peeped you out within the very first few minutes that they actually came across you. They have very good intuition. They actually have very high psychic abilities if they're into that. Listen, their discernment is on point. So Capricorns is somebody you don't want to try to pull the wool over their eyes. And I've seen that firsthand. And they are actually natural born leaders, it says. They said from the very young age, people often came to them for advice, but they find it difficult to share their very own struggles. So Capricorns like to struggle in silence. They like to struggle to themselves. They don't want anybody to know, what they're going through, because they've always been so calm, cool, and collected. And because they've always been that natural born leader, they know people come to them. So they feel like they can't be open and vulnerable with anybody else. Capricorns. All right, so while we're talking, we're going to start making this candle, because it's hot plate. And I got my hot plate right here. It's burning me up. So, like I said, this is an 8-ounce tin. So for 8-ounce tin, you only need 5 ounces of wax. I know it seems off, but trust me, it's going to fill it all the way up. All right. So you need 5 ounces of wax to your scent throw. All right. So let me go back over here. Hold on. So, actually, I'm going to do 7 ounces. I'm going to do 7 ounces of wax. So I have my scale here, and I'm going to weigh out 7 ounces of wax while we're talking. Okay. Any questions why I'm wearing this out? And I just have like a knife that I use strictly for wax. I don't use it for anything else, because you don't want to use it for nothing else. Even if you're using coconut wax or soy wax, you don't want to use that knife for anything else. You don't want to cross-contaminate that knife with your food. I know it shouldn't have to be said, but unfortunately, believe it or not, some things like that does have to be said, because there are some people who will cross-contaminate their things. They'll use the same. I've seen people make soap and use the same utensils to cook with, and you absolutely better not do that. Because you're introducing chemicals into your family's food. All right, so. And if you're over a little bit, it is absolutely fine. Some of the wax, yeah, I did drop a little piece of that, just has to go in the trash. So I'm actually just gonna dump this in. Now, one of the things I wanted to share with you, wax has to be heated up to a certain temperature. In order for you, first you have to bring the wax up to a certain temperature, and then you have to, after you bring it up to a certain temperature, you remove it from the heat, and then you have to bring it back down before you can put your fragrance oil in. So it sounds a little strange, but that is the way I'm making candles. Give me a second. Okay. And the best way to test your temperature is using a heat gun. So with this wax, my flash point is 200. So I have to bring my wax up to 200 degrees. And once I bring it up to 200 degrees, then I have to then remove it from the heat. But then I have to let it lower it down to 170, I believe I'm at, for my fragrance oil. Yes, 170 for my fragrance oil. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the things also that we're going to put in here. So some of the herbs that are associated, herbs and flowers that are associated with Capricorns. And this is the reason why I chose these herbs, because these herbs are directly associated with them. Actually, y'all, and I wanted to show y'all something. I decided, since I am making a Capricorn candle, that I was going to be drinking some tea. And actually, I don't have anything in it. no fragrance, no sweeteners, no nothing in it. It is just simply margarine, calendula, and chamomile. That's it. Nothing in it. And what I do is I do meditate over these candles, the spiritual candles. There are certain ways that you can charge your candles. You can put them out in the sun for a few hours, and you can put them in the moon. I like to leave mine under the moon overnight, but it has to be a full moon to get the full effect of its energy, because I don't know if you know, the sun and the moon has energy just like we do, and we actually connect to the sun and the moon because we're soil people. So I like to charge mine through that way. Some people like to use Florida water. Some people like to use oils. I do make oils that I will be putting on the website soon. This is a protection oil that I did anoint everything with because there are some of the things that are strengths when it comes to Capricorns and weaknesses as well. So I did make this protection oil for myself, and but this one's particularly for the business whenever I'm doing anything with protection. So of course, the first thing we're going to go with is garnet. So these are called chips. I brought a few, like I said, of the large ones. I was going to put one large garnet in there, but every one that I was buying, unfortunately, was not real. So I did go with some chips. So these are garnet. They are real. I did test them out as well because, you know, this is y'all's birthstone. Whether you are if you're January Capricorn, your birthstone is garnet. So of course you got to have some garnet in there. And garnet is it has an earthiness to it. It has an earthy smell to it. It has an earthy vibes to it. However, Capricorns they say it's an earthy sign, even though it's an earth sign, but Capricorns also is a sign that has a lot of joint problems. They are guardians of the joints, your tendons and your joints and all that stuff, and your muscles. That's what they're guardians over. So you'll find that a lot of Capricorns have those issues in their lives that they actually have to take herbs. So it's not funny, but you know what I'm saying. Also one of the associated stones for Capricorn that's also going to go into this candle is the amethyst. And the reason why is because you have some January babies that are Aquariuses, and so the amethyst is also associated with the Capricorn. That's an association with the Capricorn. I'm going to put two of those in there. One of the other stones that's associated is obsidian. Obsidian is worn for protection. It's a black stone and it's worn for protection. Because Capricorns are all about protection, they actually feel the need to protect other people. That's one of their greatest strengths. So we're going to put some obsidian in there. Obsidian is also good to wear around your neck. Actually, I normally wear that every day. But it's good to wear around your neck for protection if you believe in stones having energy. And let's be honest, stones do have energy. Stones actually come from the earth. They're not no witchcraft and voodoo and hoodoo, all that stuff like the church pretends that it is. Stones literally come up out of the ground. Actually, I'm hoping to be able to take a trip in the next few months to Ohio, because that is where most of our stones actually come from. Stones do not come from overseas. They don't come from India. They don't come from Africa. All of these stones are natural to this landmass here. So you'll see stuff. You got to dodge the hijack because they actually are natural to here. To this day, there are two national parks. One's in Ohio, and I think the other one's in Kansas, where you can literally go and pick stones up off the ground for free to this day, because it's where they come from. They come from up out of the earth, which is why even also in the Bible, Aaron wore these same gemstones in his breastplate. So I had to ask the pastor one day, if these things was voodoo and witchcraft, why did Aaron wear them? Because last time I checked, he wore 12. 12. Some of these same stones. Anyway, so also another thing for your intuition and for protection. And I actually have it on today. See? So are they free? Yeah, in Ohio. I have to remember the name of the national park. I don't remember off the top of my head, and I don't remember. No, it's Kentucky. The other one's Ohio and Kentucky, and I can't remember the name of them off the top of the head. One of them actually, and there's a third one that I know for a fact is named after me, my family, the Chippewa. It's the Chippewa Forest, and I believe that's in the Dakotas. I think it's in. I can't remember if it's in North or South Dakota, but it's named after us. It's the Chippewa National Forest. We can also go and get stones. I mean, you're just walking on top of stones, so you can pick them up freely. There's no laws against it. But Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is actually becoming one of my favorites. Amethyst has always been my favorite, not because it's my birthstone, it's the energy that I draw to. But Tiger's Eye is good for intuition. To keep your intuition up. So anytime you think that your intuition is falling, which Capricorns, their biggest struggle is their third eye, because it's they're intuitive people. So one of their biggest struggles in life is their third eye. They have to work at making sure that that third eye stays unclogged and does not become calcified. And Tiger's Eye is one of the best stones to do that. Tiger's Eye also is related to Venus, and Venus is the goddess of love. So we're going to use some Tiger's Eye in here as well. She will protect your marriage, your relationships, and all of that. All right. Now, let me check on my wax. Okay. So let me see where I am. Okay. So I'm going to bring this down. So now I have to bring my wax down to 170, and which is called your flash point. That's called a flash point. And once I do that, I'll be able to put my fragrance in. And I'm going with I'm actually going with orange, because I know that you guys are intuitive, woodsy and things of that nature, but a good scent that pairs with Aquarius. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have them for sale on my website. It's just that they all have to. I am gonna make more later. I just wanted to do one on camera because I didn't want to. Since I'm in my kitchen, I'm still waiting to get my heater. I finally go pick up my heater, you guys, on tomorrow. I'm so happy about that because I'm tired of working in my kitchen. So, and I didn't buy all that stuff out in my garage for me to be still working in my kitchen. So I go pick up my heater tomorrow, thank goodness, finally, because I told you I bought a heater and it wasn't warming up my garage. So I go and pick up the heater tomorrow because I had to order my heater. And so I can start working out there. But they will be for sale on there. So I'm going to make later when I get off live more candles so they can go up on the website. But I cannot sell them for 5 days. So if someone is making a candle and they're selling it to you right away, that is horrible business practices, because paraben candles need 5 days to cure. Soy candles need 7 to 10 days. Okay, great. And Sean, can you drop my website for me, please? www.copperhuecollections.com. And I believe they said coconut needs 10 days. So it just depends on your wax. Any website you buy your wax from, it'll tell you how many days you need to let your candles cure before you can sell them. Because what happens is, for one, it can be flammable. For two, you're not going to get no scent throw out of that, the hot throw that I was telling you about when you burn it. You're not going to get it because you have not allowed the oils and the wax and the wick to all bind together. And that's why you have to wait. So in 5 days, these candles will be ready. So while I'm still letting that come down, I'm going to weigh out my fragrance oil. Now, I need 0.8% of fragrance for my candle. And what happens is, once you get down to that flash throw, thank you, Sean, then you go ahead and pour it in, and then you have to mix your, you have to mix for about 3 minutes, because you literally have to mix to allow the oil and the wax to bind. And again, please, 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 please do not use essential oils. They are not legal to put into candles. They're not. Don't let nobody tell you they are. First of all, they're very toxic. There are certain there are certain essential oils you can't even put in diffusers if there's no children in the home. There are certain essential oils you can't have around children and pets. There are certain oils, essential oils you can put it in and put it in your diffuser. Your candle. Not candle. Sorry, you can put it in your warmer. Sorry, I meant to say warmer, but not your diffuser and not your candles. So you have to follow these guidelines because you are absolutely releasing toxins. I personally love essential oils. I use them all the time. If I knew how to, I would have showed you my cabinet. I got essential oils in this cabinet over here. I have essential oils in the cabinet over top of the refrigerator. I have essential oils in one of my extra rooms, and I have essential oils out in my garage. I am huge on essential oils. I believe in the benefits of essential oils. I even make some of my own. I distill some of my own essential oils as well. So anyway, it's still coming down. It does come down fairly slow. That's what it's supposed to do. So let's continue to talk about Capricorns. Now, I'm going to be using rosemary. So here are my herbs that I'm going to be using. I already measured them out. I already picked out what I needed to make sure that this candle is not inflammatory. So we're going to be using rosemary. And the reason why we're going to be using rosemary is associated with Capricorns. Rosemary is ruled by the sun. And it has a fire element, and it's associated with memory and prosperity. One thing I love, my family think I'm weird, I drink rosemary and thyme all the time because of its medicinal properties as well. I have asthma. As a 53, almost 54-year-old woman, I actually don't have no other health issues other than asthma. I am, other than that, very healthy. So one of the things I do to keep the mucus down is I drink rosemary and thyme together. I love it. I drink it almost every single day. I try to drink 2 cups a day. I don't always get it in because I don't eat or drink that much, but it's very medicinal. It brings off a lot of medicinal properties. It brings down inflammation as well. The other herb that's in my jar I'm going to be using is slippery elm. Slippery elm is a very good herb. I believe it's actually grown in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. It has what is called mucilage. Once slippery elm is wet with water, it gives off this mucilage. It's also good for bringing down mucus, and it has its health benefits. It's good for good slick on the hair, the skin, and things of that nature. But when it comes to Capricorns, its benefits to it, it actually protects that Capricorn against any slander and gossip. So when you're burning your candle, if there's anybody out there, whether you know they are or you don't know that they're talking about you or slandering your name or smearing your name, you actually can light your candle and set your intentions in there to send back whatever they're saying about you. Because of that slippery elm in there, and that slippery elm is going to send out that energy into the atmosphere, into the earth, and it's going to send it right back to whoever you said to send it back to. It is very powerful when it comes to protecting a Capricorn against slander. Also, it protects their love life. It protects their love. It protects their self-love when it comes to themselves and their love life, their relationship. So if you're even slandering their marriage or relationship, that slippery elm will shut it up. It actually will close your mouth. And slippery elm is ruled by Saturn, which is interesting that I love because, as you know, Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. So that goes to show you that slippery elm don't play about their Capricorns because they're ruled by the same planet. All right, let me check my temperature. And I hope you're enjoying this live so far. Please like, share, and subscribe to my live. I'm going to be bringing you more. I've also made my baby, part of my baby kit, and I made part of my men's kit last night. I was up late last night going over different recipes until I found the one I wanted, and I finally found one that I'm really happy with the fragrance and things like that. So they'll be launching probably on Sunday. More than likely by Sunday, I'll be launching those 2 on the website as well. All right, so I'm also going to be putting calendula in there. Everybody knows calendula medicinally is good for soothing the skin. If there's any type of skin irritations, whether you have psoriasis, eczema, anything of that nature, it's good for babies' bum bums, and it's also good for colds as well. I actually grow calendula. Unfortunately, moved here too late for me to grow it because it was too hot by then. Because by July, you are actually already pruning your calendula. And then it's also too cold because it is a warm crop. It is a crop that you want to start pruning in the beginning of thank you, Sean, of this summer. So calendula, it is ruled by the sun. And remember, Capricorns are earth elements, so they have a very strong connection to the sun and the moon. And so the calendula is ruled by the sun. It is a fire element, and it actually protects them against wealth and their happiness. It sends out the good vibes for wealth and happiness for Capricorns. Capricorns can actually drink calendula and set their intentions. So before I began this live, I made sure when I was drinking my tea, I set my intentions not just for Capricorns, but for myself, because I did birth a Capricorn. And I don't know if a lot of people know that the real way to celebrate your birthday is not to celebrate yourself, but the real way to celebrate your birthday, a real birthday celebration, was to celebrate the woman that brought you into the earth. So every time your birthday rolled around, you were supposed to have been celebrating your mother and bringing her gifts for bringing you into this earth. That is the true definition of a birthday celebration, just in case y'all didn't know that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. We're going to continue while I'm stirring. I was going to add color to it, but I decided not to because I wanted to, and I may add some color to the rest of them, and I might just keep this one and give this one to Jaleesa. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and stir it up, because I was going to do a deep red, which is close to the garnet, but I was afraid that it's going to wash out the garnet, so that's what made me change my mind. And when you're stirring, you can set a clock, or you don't have to, but what you want to do is you want to go in both directions, because what happens is the molecules of the fragrance oils is attaching itself to the molecules of the wax. It's a very cool process. If you ever want to look it up, just Google it and see how it works. It's very cool how the fragrance oil mixes with the wax. And the reason why fragrance oil pairs with wax, because wax is nothing but oils. It's nothing but a hard oil, just like your butters. So just like you have butters or hard oils, so is wax. Wax is nothing but hard oils. So it's nothing but oil and oil binding with each other. Fun fact. All right, let's continue. Also, what's going into this, and this is going on the top, not going inside of the candle. It's going to go on top, away from the flame. And I'll show you that as well. The next herb that's going to go in here is chamomile. And I know y'all heard of chamomile. Everyone knows chamomile is good for sleeping at night. It gives illicit dreams for people. It actually helps you fall asleep a little bit faster. It is a water element, and it's ruled by the sun. But chamomile brings on money, tranquility, and love as well. So that's what it's associated with. All right. And the next herb that I'm going to put in here is marjoram. Marjoram smells something like orange, which is why I chose to go with the orange and not so much a woodsy scent, even though orange is considered a woodsy scent. So if you look up any scent profile, you will see orange falls in the woodsy scent. A lot of people, it's just more of a sweeter woodsy scent. You have your sweet wood scents, and then you have your musk wood scents, and then you have your regular wood scents. So there's 3 types of wood scents. So which is why I chose to go with orange, because orange also brings about alertness and awareness. So that's why I chose to go with the orange scent for this candle. And marjoram actually is associated with love and dreams. It is ruled by Mercury, and it's an air element. I did bring my wick out. So, unfortunately, I don't think you can see this. Yeah, bring it down a little bit more. And so, I'm not going to use a dot because I've been doing this for a long time. One of my herbs got in here. I've been doing this a long time, so now I do it without causing it to move. But I want to do this. I'm going to use a little stick for video's sake. So you can buy these sticks. They look like popsicle sticks. You just thread the wick through there, and you want to wrap it around a few times just to keep it in place. And that will hold your candle and your wick in place as well. When you're going to burn your candle, your wick will not move around. I promise you it won't. It'll sit steady. So you just want to make sure you get it in the right place. Make sure it's dead centered. And pour. And the interesting thing is that it's supposed to be a slow pour, not a really fast pour. You want to kind of pour in slow. Give me a second. I'll hold it for a second. See? Perfect. Perfect amount of wax. And remember I said to you, what you do is you just take your 90% alcohol right away with all your utensils and wipe it right out. And if you don't get it all out, you just take your candle tin, put it back on the burner, heat it up a little bit, and repeat the process. All you need is 90% alcohol. That's it. Rubbing alcohol does not do it, and it also leaves a scent. So we're gonna let that harden up for just a little bit, and we're gonna continue on, and I'll dress the candle for you. Dressing the candle means that you're putting your herbs and things that you're gonna put on the candle, because I need for the candle to set up a little bit. Hopefully it will set up fast enough on its live. Sometimes the candles do, sometimes they don't. And because you want that top layer to be hardened, the middle layer is not going to be hardened. It's going to take longer, which is why candles need to cure, because your middle part of your candle is the last. The middle and the bottom are the last to set up, last to cure. So if you was to go and light this as soon as it get hard, it's going to burn straight down and possibly have a fire. All right. So what I decided is, when I started looking, I noticed that Capricorns are very good at their finances. They are very good at managing their finances. They're on top of it. They're the ones that's constantly checking their bank accounts to make sure they're not being frauded and things of that nature. They get those alerts and things of that nature. However, you do have elements that are against Capricorns, because they're so disciplined and they want to come after those finances. So I also am going to put in some bay leaf. Bay leaf is known in the, I hate to say Wiccan world, because I'm not in the Wiccan world, but bay leaves are known in the spiritual world for money. They bring in prosperity. One of the things I like to do all the time is I'll take a black permanent marker, and I'll write what I want on there. So say for example, like I'm manifesting a new car. I'm thinking about a new car. Unfortunately, the car that I wanted is no longer in production anymore. And so one day I was at a store, and an older lady came up to me, didn't know me, and she said, "Baby, God said you think too small." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Okay. And so the interesting thing is, it's how it was so, how she was so on point is the night prior to that, I was telling my husband, "You know, that's not the car I've never wanted. You know, I want this car." And I'm not going to say what it is, but you know, this is what I've always wanted. You know, I kind of grew up with the best, but then I've been living as an adult as if I wasn't raised with the best. I've always was growing up scared of wanting or getting what I want, or buying what I want, because I was always worried about what people would think and say. And I had just said the night before, this is really what I want, and I'm tired of driving what I don't want and settling for what I don't want. I'm tired of settling. And so I had just said it, and I had asked him, my printer was acting up, and I asked him, "I'm gonna send you this picture. Can you print it off? I'm gonna print it off and put it on a refrigerator and put it in my prayer room." And I'm going to look at this picture every day and I'm going to talk to this picture every day. But I also took a bay leaf and I wrote it on the bay leaf. And one of the hoodoo rituals, which hoodoo is our natural practice, it's not something that's witchcraft or anything like that. It is our natural spiritual practices that our ancestors were doing back before any of the Europeans or anything came here and brought the Bible. The Bible is actually the youngest religion. Spirituality was the first. Actually, all these other religions come after spirituality. But one of the things that our ancestors used to do is write on the bay leaf their intentions, what they want, their desires, their hearts. You burn it and you blow it out into the universe. I still do that to this day. I was doing it when I was preaching in the church because it's something that I was raised on, something that I've always known. I didn't even know we were doing hoodoo practices. Go figure, I am French. Who created hoodoo? The French. So I am going to add some bay leaves because bay leaves is powerful when it comes to prosperity. And you can't really see much of it, but I'm going to also add mint. Mint too is powerful. It's a powerful herb when it comes to prosperity. And I like to take mint and cinnamon every first of the month and I blow it into my house and I set the intentions of what finances I want to come into my home. You never want to blow it out, you want to blow it in. It just makes it a little difficult because I have Bella. So and you want to leave it there. So I have to be careful because she's going to smell it because she smells 10 times stronger than us. So I have to kind of be careful when it comes to that. So I try now just to drop a few essential oils here and there, and then I'll put some in a spray bottle and then now spray because I have to be careful because of her. So I'm going to add some of that and some of the mint. And let's go over a couple more. We're not quite there yet. I got a couple more fun facts about Capricorns. We may have to end it. I may have to address it later because I don't know if it's going to take that long. One of the things I thought was funny, there's a young lady that's on here, that's on TikTok that I'm cool with. See, that cinnamon matcha, girl. I love my cinnamon matcha. Listen, so I now have to do it because of Bella. I have to put it inside of a spray bottle now, a cleaning bottle, so I now mop my floors with it and peppermint. So I do cinnamon and peppermint and I mop my floors. I actually got it in a spray bottle and I do it every first of the month as well. And then I also will burn it. I'll sit outside at night, make her come in here with Lonnie, and I'll sit outside at night and I'll burn me a cinnamon stick. Since I can't really blow it into the house like I wanted to before I got her. So there's a young lady, her name is CCC. She's a spiritualist as well. She's a tarot card reader. I actually met her on TikTok a year ago, probably today. I think it was my daughter's birthday. She's also a Capricorn. I think her birthday is if I'm not mistaken, it's the 16th. Or she's right at the cusp. She's coming up too. And so last year she got big and I was like, y'all Capricorns can be mean. She's like, no, we're not mean. I said, listen, the December Capricorns and the January Capricorns are somebody that you don't want to cross. Y'all can be mean and silly. And it's interesting because one of the fun facts when I look up, it says, your mood can change at the blink of an eye. So don't make them mad. And I laughed so hard because I was like, I tried to tell her, y'all do not play. Y'all are the most kindest, sweetest person. Y'all will give y'all shirt off your back if you can. But if you cross that Capricorn, it is hard to come back across that line. So that is one thing I know about them Capricorns. You do not want to cross them because you may not be able to come back across that bridge. You may be stuck. And they will look at you like you don't exist too. One thing I do know about Capricorns, it says y'all are incredibly resourceful. And I actually thought of Sean when I thought about this. My daughter, not so much, but Sean, and I sit back and I was just telling my husband about this yesterday. I said, Sean, I look at her videos and I look how organized she is. And sometimes she thinks she's not, but I look how organized she is. I look at how she's able to put stuff together, how she can sit and buy a machine, and within like a week she's doing a video about it. It's over. I said mean and seriously. My grandfather that helped raise me. The December ones are worse. Yeah, my grandfather. We used to call him mean and seriously. Yeah, we used to say that about, he's a December Capricorn. And we used to say that about him all the time. But don't cross them January Capricorns either. You can't cross them either. So don't think for one moment you can cross them. See, they don't go looking for a fight like them December ones do. But once you break their trust, it's almost cutthroat for them. You almost don't exist to them. So you definitely don't want to cross them. And we always used to say that about my great-great-grandfather. So a little quick story while we still set it up, and we'll move on. So my dad raised me, as most of y'all know. My mother did not raise me. She sent me to go live with my dad when I was 5. But my great-grandmother, my mom's grandmother, she wanted to make sure that I always stay connected to my mom's side of the family. So, you know, my great-grandmother, my great-aunt made sure they helped my father raise me. So they actually were the mothers in my life. And so, but growing up, and so it's myself, I'm the mid, so it's my cousin Alan, he's about to be 60 in March, and then it's me, I'm 53, and then it's my sister under me, and she's 47. Oh, y'all definitely will get even. Oh, what? Listen, y'all are the king and queens of revenge. Oh, y'all got my slippers on, y'all. King and queen of revenge. The problem with Capricorns, you don't know when they're going to get that revenge. That's the problem. Because y'all are so good at being so sneaky that y'all will get revenge at the last minute. When that person's unsuspected, they thinking, oh, everything is okay, we cool, everything kumbaya, like we all that. That's my 8th boom coon. We even went out a few times to eat and had some drinks. She done forgot all about it. Yep, she don't know nothing about it. And then next you know, bam. My daughter is famous for it. She's famous for it. That sneak attack. Yes, Lord, I'm telling you. I used to tell people all the time, leave her. My son used to always say it. My son used to love picking at her and say, you know what? Let me leave this girl alone because she's so sneaky. I never know when she's going to get payback. But anyway, like I said, so it was 3 of us growing up. And so my grandfather favored my sister that's under me. And so my cousin and I used to say, Grandpa don't like us. He just don't like us. He's so mean and serious. And everybody used to laugh because they couldn't understand. But they was like, you know what? After he passed away, everybody was like, he was kind of mean. So the other grandchildren was like, yeah, you're right. He didn't like us either. I'm like, that man was mean. Like, he was just so mean, but he was looking for a fight. He wasn't looking for fights. If you gave him an inkling you had a problem, he was going to jump right at you. That's that December Capricorn. Anyway, one thing I do like about Capricorns. Capricorns are people that need to look for evidence before they rush to conclusions. They're not the type of person who's just gonna rush to a conclusion. They may think something in their head is off or funny or got some questions about it, but they're gonna sit back and they're gonna peep it out. They're gonna think about it, like they're gonna watch your moves, see what you're doing over here, see what you're doing over there, start piecing stuff together. They even may ask a few people here, put a little few feelers out there to other people to find out if they're seeing what they're seeing as well. But trust and believe, their intuition is so on point. What they thought they felt or seen is exactly what they thought they seen. But they're not going to come to that conclusion yet without having enough evidence to be able to back up what they thought or they felt. And the other one was Aquarius give the best best advice. Y'all have, you definitely gonna bring receipts. Most definitely. Y'all definitely gonna bring the receipts. But that's why y'all gotta sit back and y'all gotta wait and see. Y'all gonna fill it out. Even no matter what your intuition says, you still gotta fill it out. Because you gonna make sure that what you felt and said is definitely on points. But that's why I said, but once it comes, once you got everything you need, bam. That's it. It's there. It's done. It's over. It's no backing out. Because now you have it in black and white. But it says Capricorns give the best advice. I will say that my daughter, although she drives me insane sometimes, if I need some advice, even myself as her mother, I'll call her for advice, and she definitely does give me some of the best advice. I can say that. They are a friend to the end as long as you're true to them. And as long as you true to them, they're going to have your back. They're going to give you the advice that's going to benefit you. That's not going to give you no advice that's going to tear you down or put you in any type of bad light. They are going to make sure that you're always, always, always protected. And that's what I love about a Capricorn. All right, so my candle's not set up enough. I didn't think that it would be. Yeah, it's still a little too soft. So as you can see, I'll let you see, it's still just a tad bit too soft. I'll dress the candle later, and I'll just go ahead and take some pictures and show you later what it looks like dressed. Again, these candles, not this one in particular, but the rest of them, they'll be available. Like I said, I'm going to make some more once I get off live. I just got to make a few quick calls and then call FaceTime my daughter. Even though I already talked to her, I'm going to FaceTime her again. Because unfortunately, she lost a very close friend of hers today. She was my age. Actually, she was a couple of years older than me. But she was almost like a godmom to her without actually having a title. And we just got word this morning that she passed. So she wasn't doing too well today on her birthday. My sister contacted me. I wasn't going to tell her because it was her birthday. But unfortunately, social media, she found out anyway. So I'm going to FaceTime her when I get off and check on her. She already did her celebration over the weekend early. But I'm going to later on tonight before, take it down. I'm going to make some more candles. And I'll have the pictures and stuff ready to upload onto the website. Like I said, they'll be available for purchase. I mean, the pictures will be on the website in 5 days because that's when they'll be available. I'm not going to put them on the website and they can't be sold. That doesn't make sense. So in 5 days from today, they'll be available. I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope you enjoyed the information about Capricorns. Happy birthday to all of the Capricorns, whether you're December or January Capricorn. Again, thank you for taking time to spend some time with me while I'm making a candle. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Turn on the notification bell so you'll know when I'm going live again. I'm actually going to go live again, just don't know when yet because I got a few things I got to do. I got to go do a lot of shopping tomorrow to get that garage ready because I'm just not going to go just pick up that heater. I got to pick up a few other things to get it ready so I can start filming out there. I got to get another ring light because I told you my brand new ring light broke. They give me the money back for it, and so I'm using the stand, but I don't have the light. So I have a few things to do tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I know Sean goes live on Sunday, so please make sure you subscribe to my sis channel, All Things Sean. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when she goes live. And then her and T will be going live tomorrow doing crafts as well. Oh, well, happy birthday to you. You're the 17th. Okay. And so they'll be going live tomorrow. I'm probably going to start going live a little bit more on TikTok because I haven't been. The reason being is because I'm over there in the Aboriginal community. And if I go live, then all the Aboriginal community is going to come over here. And they all now are following my business page, which I didn't want them to. Because I'm trying to get a different type of crowd. But they all found out I had a second page. And they're all following that one as well. So that's why I haven't been going live on TikTok. I'm like, I don't want y'all over in this page. So that's why I've been doing more of here. I'm going to start trying to go live on Instagram and Facebook as well. Because I am on both of those as well. But again, I thank you for taking the time out of your day. You could have been anywhere else, but you did choose to come and support my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to head on over to Copy Who Collections, www.copyhucollections.com for your hair care, skincare products. Reason why it's called Collections, let me tell you this really quickly. The reason why I chose to name my business Collections and not Cosmetics like I originally was going to do is because I'm not a niche person. Let's be completely honest. I can't niche. I do too many things to be niching down, which is one thing why I love that Sean changed her name to All Things Sean. Because we're not niche people. We have multiple gifts and talents. And I don't think anybody should be bound to niche. And for one, it becomes boring. You get tired of it, you'll start putting it to the side and you won't be doing it anymore. I'm the type of person, I need to do multiple things to stay busy. I can't even do one project at a time. I have to do multiple projects at a time in order for me to stay creative in my mind. And so I am going to be adding my bling cups up there as well. And I got a big surprise is coming. I have something else. And drop your website as well, Sean. It's T is in here. She can drop hers as well. And anybody else who has any businesses, please drop your links in. Also, I have a group that I'm actually starting. Actually, kind of already started. I do have my EIN number, and I'm going to file my articles next week. It's called Copper Dollars Network. And the reason why I created Copper Dollars Network was I was just disturbed one day when I did some research and found out how quickly our quote unquote black dollars leave our community. Our black dollars leave our community within hours of us getting it. So that means when you get paid on Friday, exactly. And I definitely can't narrow it down because honestly speaking, sewing is still my number one love. So it's probably going to always be my number one love. So I just can't. I just can't. I just haven't been sewing because they probably need maintenance on those sewing machines because they've been sitting for quite some time now. But anyway, I created Copper Dollars Network because I want us to start learning how to keep our money into our communities. When I did my research, I found out that the Asian and the Jewish community, their money stays in our community over almost 50 days between the two. So they keep their money in our community before they start spending it outside of our community. We have the highest, most powerful spending in this country. Why? Because we are really the majority and not the minority. And so therefore we have the most powerful spending dollars in this community, in this country. Whatever we buy becomes wealthy. It's just that point simple. So it doesn't make sense that we're so quick to let's say, for example, a basketball player, I'm not going to say any particular name, decides he want to go out and endorse one of the celebrity brand name clothing line. He's going to go out and endorse it, and all of our men and women are going to run out there, whether they can afford it or not. They're going to wait to payday and take their whole entire paycheck to purchase whatever that celebrity or that basketball player endorsed. But then, and that's something that's being manufactured over, let's be honest, in China or Thailand, more than likely Thailand, if it's clothing. And it's been done in, unfortunately, chop shops, and it's low quality materials. You're just basically paying for their name. But if one of us turn around and put a product out, you're gonna say, oh, that costs too much, but that $400 purse didn't cost too much, but my $100 cup did. Make that make sense. Because your shirt eventually gonna wear out, but your cup gonna last forever. So I'm not understanding how we have this mindset that, you know, and I don't like to use the term small business. If you look at my website, you won't see small business nowhere, because to me that's stagnating my business. So I implore everybody, stop saying you have a small business. You have a business. You're a business owner. You didn't see Walton going around saying he had a small business when he had that 5 and dime. He turned around and said he had a 5 and dime. And that 5 and dime now became one of the biggest chain stores in the world, because he's in almost every country, because he didn't speak it. He actually didn't speak that small business stuff. And his business was small like everybody else's. So therefore, we got to start speaking that into existence. We got to start encouraging ourselves and speaking ourselves. But we also got to start purchasing from each other, because there's going to come a time, as I state when I go live under Copper Dollars Network, I let people know there's going to come a time where it's going to be just us again. We're going back to the days of old, where it's just all melanated people on this earth, because we're the organic people of this earth. So therefore, what's going to happen when you don't have all those other people to purchase from, because all those name brands now are going, and all that stuff is going, and you know the CEOs and everybody from Dove is going? Who you gonna buy your soap from? Because 9 out of 10 you don't know how to make soap. So if we don't make those connections now and putting our dollars back into our community, we're gonna fail when it becomes us all over again. So that's another thing that I got to get back to. I haven't been doing Copper Dollars Network in a while. I kind of got discouraged because someone stole my name, stole my ideal. They did call it melanated dollars, as if I wasn't going to know they still stole it from me, because they went live the same day I went live, the very first day. But that's neither here nor there. But we got to start supporting our very own. You know, we have to. So let's start supporting each other. I'm going to be going live soon on TikTok again, promoting Copper Dollars Network. Copper Dollars Network allows all business owners to come on and promote their business. You can come on, you can show whatever products you sell. It doesn't have to be cosmetics. It can be anything. I had people on there that did real estate. I had a girl that was a preacher who had a nonprofit that she created in her father's name that passed away that was giving back to the community. She was able to promote that. So it doesn't matter what your business is, you're able to come on and promote. I'm not going to belabor the time. So again, I love you all. Thank you for your support. And I will see you again soon. And Sean, I'll probably call you later because I want to talk to you about some stuff. But so I will see you later. Again, thank you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell. Bye.